Welcome to Different Walks, Different Talks. Let's go to some final questions here.
Yes, let's hear it.
So, okay, I'm gonna ask you this.
Yeah.
If you can't think of it, I can go first.
Okay.
If you don't think about like pay, anything, you have everything in the world in terms of money and
Okay.
stuff.
Mm.
But if you want to pursue a career, what would be your dream job?
Without pay involved.
Yeah, because you have all the money already.
Oh.
Just your dream job.
I have a lot. I have too many.
Just go for it. Just say it.
Okay, okay, let's start with one.
Okay.
One is what I want to pursue now with medicine. Medicine and doctrine, just for the sole fact that I'm going to help people. Because if I have all the money in the world and I can buy whatever I want, I have to have something that will fuel my void in my mind. Like you become mentally unfocused and like
You need some
mentally
sort of
insane.
stimulation.
You become mentally insane when you have everything in the world that you want.
Yeah, and you have nothing to do.
No, you have no drive. You lose your drive.
Yeah, right.
So the career aspect is literally just for drive.
That's honestly why a lot of boxers can retire, right?
Yeah.
When they get rid of the boxing,
Yeah.
they just no drive.
There's no drive. You lose your
drive.
entire drive for everything. You see, like when people say like famous athletes that become famous athletes, and once
Yeah.
they're there, they lose the drive. No, you should drive to be MVP. You should drive to be an all-star player.
Yeah,
Right?
but then once they retire, a lot of them they lose their
Exactly.
their thing. They don't know what to do.
So helping people, that's one.
Okay.
Being able to help people, heal them, give them medications, and
Your classic philanthropist.
classic French exactly.
Okay.
You feel happy because you helped your fellow human, and that helps you keep you at a mental state.
Immediate train answer. What's
Then
something else?
there's the next one, which is very cool, which is innovation. So
These are broad. Do you have a specific job?
so like a specific would be for me computer engineering.
Like you want to do that as a job?
So I would do that as a job,
wow.
and I would want to do exactly what you
high
think.
level jobs, man.
What you think? I'll do some basic ones after too.
Okay.
But what you think about is I would want to pursue computer engineering and engineering just to have a group of engineers and be familiar with many engineers and become innovative and invent something.
Oh, cool.
Because if you have all the money, imagine you have all the funding.
Right.
in the whole world.
You want to be involved in the process. You don't want to
Exactly.
just give people funds and they do it for you. You kind of want to see what's going on.
I don't care.
Right? You want to
If I
understand.
have all the money, what do I care about being an engineer to go fix someone's computer or work in a firm
There's no worry.
that builds something, some toothpaste factory? I don't care.
Okay, all right.
So if I had a group of people that I could work with and develop something from an engineering standpoint,
So basically, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, basically, and like I would want to, and then there's so much more you could say. Like, what do you invent? Do you invent something that helps people? Do you invent something that's like a technology?
Yeah. Do you invent
something-
TikTok?
Do you invent TikTok? Do you invent an app? Do you invent something that's gonna hurt people, help people? Like, what do you invent?
Yeah. Like, what do you want to invent?
So that's the thing. That's how when you see these entrepreneurs and you think, wow, like they're so smart to be able to come up with something that the world needs.
Right.
But then they, it's funny how I'm expanding on this.
Okay.
They go into the fact that people need stuff, but then there's also the evils in the world that people build off to make money.
Mhm.
Like lust, gluttony,
Mhm.
all that stuff. Like that builds off of what people want. What people want is what people make money for.
Right. It's what sometimes what
So
people
money-
want is not good for them.
It's not good for them, but people
Right.
can make money off of that because they
Right,
know
right.
that what they want is what they are going to get.
Yeah, right.
So they make money off of it.
So what is something you want?
So if you see these entrepreneurs, you see a lot. Like let's say Advil, for example, the company that made Advil,
Okay.
ibuprofen medicine. That's helpful. You're gonna take ibuprofen when you have a headache. It's helpful. It's beneficial. They're making money off of it. Boom, Bob's your uncle. But then there's companies that have made things that hurt us.
Ozempic, maybe.
Ozempic.
Kind of. Well, it was made to help, but then the marketing.
But then
and all of that.
exactly, it made it like a
company-
commercial product.
yeah,
Oh,
the
I'm
company
gonna
made
inject
it.
Ozempic just because I'm fat and I want to lose
Yeah,
weight.
yeah, right.
No, that's so bad for you. Who knows what adverse health effects?
Unless you're
it
like,
has.
of course you're
Of
like
course.
medically like bedridden, then maybe like for the start.
Exactly for the like, of course, some
But like a lot of
individuals
us, they're like slightly bulky.
slightly bulky. They're like, let's say they're 50 pounds overweight. No,
Yeah,
you
right.
shouldn't be taking Ozempic. Like, of course, if you're bedridden and you're too big to even get weight loss or fat removal
Yeah,
surgery,
right. Then
then
if it gets some sort of.
it's good for a jump. You need because you know what? We have never been in that position of someone who's 900 pounds,
So
700
I
pounds.
can't speak for
We
them,
can't
of
speak, but
course.
I could imagine how hard it is for them to even start.
Right.
Like, imagine not even being able to walk.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you can't even just to start losing that initial amount of weight. Like, you literally have to have a caregiver forbid you from eating food just so you can lose that initial amount of weight
It's
just to get like a surgery.
ridiculous
that helps you.
process.
It's so ridiculous. Like it's crazy. But
You're doing the weave like Donald Trump right now.
Yeah.
Talking about dream job, you're weaving it. All right,
I mean,
this is what Donald Trump does.
so going back
Come
to
on, go back to your dream job.
to the career. So definitely, and honestly, in my life, I hope to be able to get into that point where there's an entrepreneurial thing that I can invent.
Okay, so health.
So if it's not health,
doctor, entrepreneurship, and then
third, I would definitely pursue athletics.
okay.
So even if I'm old, or well, if you gave me this opportunity at my age now, with all the money in the world,
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I would push myself every day to a sport,
For what
whatever
sport?
sport I like.
Do you have one?
Specifically, it would be either basketball or I would start boxing, like we mentioned before.
Boxing, gotcha.
But actually, no, I wouldn't do boxing because I don't want to cook my brain.
Right. So
But okay. But then you also have to think realistically. I don't know if I have the height to be a high professional level basketball player. So maybe I would pick soccer or baseball. Actually, I think it would be baseball.
yeah,
because
don't pick the
baseball-
soccer player.
I wouldn't be a soccer player. I never played soccer. But I think baseball is one of those sports that it's one of those sports that like you even see baseball teams. They have like some big fat guys.
Right.
Because they just are the pitchers or the
Hey,
catchers.
speaking of baseball, time tennis is coming up, guys. Hey, time
Yeah,
tennis,
that's a good
baseball.
topic.
There's
But yeah, I would just commit myself really athletically.
no, man, you're not giving enough credit to baseball.
I know. Oh, yeah,
Those arms and the throws and all
100
that you
you
have
see
to
guys-
train. It's hard to get good at
100
baseball.
kilometer per hour pitch.
I feel like
would never be
baseball
able-
is one of the hardest ones.
Exactly.
I feel like golf is an easier one. I feel like.
1,000%. I wouldn't say, obviously it's not easy.
But would you want to do
But
that?
then-
Are you interested in golf at all?
But then the thing about golf is it occupies you. It's 4 hours on a course.
Right, yeah.
You're hitting these golf balls, and
Yeah.
it's something that if you continuously do it, you get time. But then again, I don't think that I would, if I had all the money, I would pursue athletics for a career.
Okay, so what? So no.
So definitely health and definitely and
So that's
definitely engineering.
it. So that's yours.
So I would say those two are definitely the two that I'd really maybe I would want to learn about a lot about philosophy because I do like to learn about like how people think.
Okay.
Because how people think is really important, and it's important to know how people think. And if you can help people with how they think, I think like philosophy and therapy. That's also one really cool thing that I would want to also maybe pursue if I didn't have the the drive to try and invent something or be a doctor.
All right. Fair.
You know what I mean?
I asked Callum this question.
Yeah. What
actually.
was his response?
Yes.
Doctor.
No.
No.
If he had all the money in the world.
Maybe an actor.
No. If I said that, maybe he would.
You know,
about it,
because
but he
that
didn't.
just came to mind.
But
I think I'm
no,
scratching
it wasn't
everything.
that.
I just said actor number one.
Actor, you're gonna be an
I
actor.
would only because I'm a
Really?
sucker for fame.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to sound.
Okay.
I don't sound like it's funny to say that. Okay, like of course I would pursue doctor.
Okay.
Of course I would pursue engineering.
Yeah, but you want the fame.
Imagine I have all this money.
Honestly, bro, doctor and thing, they're like small ways to get fame.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So I see where you were going.
So-
What about lawyer, like top lawyer?
I would do law. Actually, law, but law is difficult
Okay.
because law you have to be
Yeah,
able
you just have to study.
to prove it. And then also you deal with a lot of cases that I don't want to deal
But
with.
doctor's low key harder. than
Doctor is
law.
so much. But what about doctor? I love these. You get a lot of respect.
So have a guess about Callum. Again. Oh my god, the thing you just said about respect, Callum said the exact same to me.
About doctors, how they get respect?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because my mom's watching this show.
Yeah.
It's called The Resident,
Okay.
and it's about two doctors in it. Oh, I want to get into this too. It's about two doctors, and they're in a hospital, and they're residents, like they finish medical school and they're working, and then they just show. It's a bunch of cliche stories and stuff that happens, but overall, like they just get so much respect for being doctors.
Right, yeah.
It's just such a good feeling.
Right.
And then it also goes to
That's also Callum said that's why he wants to be a doctor.
Yeah.
The respect
the respect
and like to help others.
help. Like it's
So, but what
it's the
would you
biggest thing.
guess is like dream job without that worry of respect? Like you have all the money in the world. You have your perfect.
What he
setup.
said or what?
What he said. What his dream job would be.
Oh man, I
You
don't
already
know.
guessed. Okay,
What is it?
writer.
Yeah, I can see that.
He'll be a
100%.
writer.
I can
You
see
know
it.
what? You want to guess mine? I have like two. I have two.
I think yours, you would stick with what you're doing now. Engineering is one.
With all the money in the world, two jobs.
No, I don't know. What is it?
My dream job would be a chef. A chef.
There's so many good jobs.
A chef. I would love to be a chef. Like
Mhm.
I have so much passion, and I feel like it's such a cool craft.
Yeah,
Like,
it's amazing.
all
And you
different
can
cultures.
Cuisine. Like, that's
Yeah,
like a
different
cool thing.
cultures that you can learn so much.
Yeah.
It's like the people in the food. It's
Yeah.
something that's like I love.
Yeah.
And my second one is to be a comedian.
Oh, amazing. I love
To be a comedian.
Now that you're mentioning it, it's opening my mind to so many more
To be a comedian.
professions
Yeah, right.
that I would love to pursue so many
I would
professions.
love to pursue like writing, but I don't think I have the patience.
Me, I couldn't do it.
I don't think I have the patience for like 2 years to craft the story.
Yeah, I
don't
think
have that.
for me, I don't have that writing aspect of my life. That's one
Right,
thing.
okay.
Like that's one thing I
Yeah,
find
yeah,
for
yeah.
myself. I wouldn't.
I love writing. I love this thing, right? But like, I feel like I'm just missing a bit of the patience
Yeah.
on that part. On me.
And I would also like even like something like comic book writing
Yeah.
or like draw. Like I wish I knew how to draw. That's a one big thing. I wish I
Right.
knew.
Me too. I don't.
Drawing and singing, because like that's a way like to convey talent in a such a unique way. Like being able to
musicians
sing,
as well.
Musician. Like when you hear a nice piano, a nice drums.
Yeah. Like how did they? Like how did they invent that? Like that? How did they compose that thing?
the
right?
sounds, and then and then it's like music hits you in a different way.
You give them the respect they get.
Yeah, music hits you in a different way that like you can't really put it in words.
Right. Exactly.
Like when you hear something, you can't really explain it.
And sometimes, when I go to the gym,
Yeah,
I'm running when I'm listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
This is when I'm running, listening to my playlist. There's a difference. There's a major difference.
What do you find is better for
The
your
music, of course.
Your music's
The
better.
podcast, sometimes like I'm running, but then I
Yeah.
pay attention to some words and then I miss it, and then it's like
You almost need that like anger, like
I feel like I'm at school when I'm listening to the podcast. I feel like
Yeah,
sometimes
you don't really care.
if it's not too interesting.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's really interesting.
yeah,
and it's fun, but
exactly.
sometimes- Yeah.
When it's really interesting, it can help you because it takes your mind off of it.
My coach, D2, one of the guys, D1 tennis player. The other guy he coached becomes national tennis team, and he would tell me about like their lock-in ritual before the game. So he wrote this blank piece of paper that during the match, I saw this guy Anton. He was like D1, right?
Okay.
And then I saw him play, and he would just look at this blank piece of paper. And at the very end, I asked my tennis coach, I was like, "What's in this mysterious paper?" He said, "I wrote nothing. It's a blank paper just to remind himself of like he's still in the game and stuff." And before the game as well, they always had their headphone song. He's like, they always have to listen to their favorite song for like 4 minutes.
Is it always the
2
same
minutes?
song?
No, like whatever song that they like the most right now,
Yeah.
they're listening to it before the match. And that was like at a D2, D1 like level that what they were doing. Like they were these like
Blank
rituals.
paper, eh?
Yeah.
Blank
Or
paper.
sometimes it's like a paper of like their weaknesses. Or sometimes it's just a blank piece of paper.
Because the funniest thing is, like the adrenaline,
Yeah.
it helps you so much.
Tennis actually made me like I read this book on tennis philosophy, like psychology.
Yeah.
It makes you hyperfixate on things. Like tennis players, they all have their rituals. Like Nadal, he has to have his bottle like a certain orientation. Otherwise,
that's some
messed up.
superstitious.
Like every time he goes to serve, he has to do the cross. For me, it's like the bounce. I have to get that right. If it's off, it's off. It's like we develop tics. We develop tics. It's like from the game because it's like a one-on-one.
It's all the competition.
It's one-on-one, and your coach isn't allowed to help you when you play. It's not like basketball. It's all you. Your coach isn't allowed to coach you during the game. So you have to somehow hyperfixate on something because it's such a one-on-one sport.
Yeah.
That's why I have so much respect for like martial arts as well, because it's such a one-on-one thing.
Oh, and imagine you're the guy's trying to kill you.
Yeah, right, exactly. You have to remember all of that.
I don't understand.
You have to focus, and you have to like be calm as well. Remember everything, because a lot of the times
you gotta be focused and ready.
Right.
And then what I see,
this is different from one sports to team sports. That's a major difference.
What amazes me is when I see these fighters like UFC. After the fight, they hug and like shake each other's hands.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know what that shows? Imagine a sport as deadly as fighting. At the end of the day, it's just their job.
Right.
It's just what they get paid to do.
Exactly. Right.
Which is honestly kind of sad. You have to go to blood with someone just to get paid.
Like the tennis, like sports careers.
It's tough. It's so tough.
One injury, it might be over for you, and you might be like.
It's so tough.
That is the biggest problem for athletes a lot of the times. They pursue athletics so much that they won't care about academics as well, right? But that's what they basically put all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And if something happens to you coincidentally that you had some sort of illness, you had some sort of injury, then if it shatters, what do you rebound to? That's like the biggest problem. Okay. A lot of them, the one rebound thing they do is coaching.
Yeah.
It's honestly great how that's a thing.
Yeah,
if that wasn't a thing though.
Yeah.
They fall so far.
Because to be successful in sports,
right, it's so hard.
You need to dedicate everything to it.
Right, exactly.
You can't be
it does take so much time.
Unless you're the most talented sports player in the whole world, you might be able to scratch by while still pursuing education or something else. But if you're the typical athlete, like you need to dedicate your entire life.
Because a lot of people that are D1 athletes that also pursue academics, they're writing the D1 to the uni and then they're dropping their sport,
dropping their
or they're
sport.
doing the sport kind of for fun,
Yeah.
right?
Because they're not, because they
know how hard it is. Yeah,
they're not performing the best.
Yeah, exactly. Because even like once you make D1, you're in the pool of thousands of men in
Imagine
D1.
you're in D1. You're a D1 athlete. You should need to if you want to make it professional, you need to train in the morning, train in the afternoon, have your game, train after the game,
have the eating, have the ritual.
You have the eating, have the ritual. Yeah. Have the best coach. You need the best coach.
Yeah, mentality. No, not much parties. You can do some parties, but not dabble too
Imagine
hard.
you can't drink one night and then the next day expect to be fully gone and ready to work out.
That's how Kyrgios is different. Like he could do it.
Oh, he could do it.
He does it. He parties and then he plays.
Unbelievable.
Look at how Kyrgios like does it. He never has a slam, right?
Yeah.
His mentality is also what kills him a little.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like you see the guys like Kobe Bryant, right? Like these athletes.
I have so much respect for them.
5 a.m. in the gym, 4 a.m.
And give them some calculus question. I bet they're not doing it.
Yeah, they're not doing the calculus exactly.
So yeah.
But they know. But then again, you know what else is cool about these athletes? They know what they want. Like you see a lot of like even me as myself at this age. I'm only 17. I don't really know exactly what I want for my future.
Right, I do see that.
You see what I mean?
It's kind of sometimes scary.
It's scary. It's scary.
Because sometimes if you do know what you want and it doesn't work out, then you don't know what you do at all.
Yeah, you don't know what to do at all.
Whereas if you're in a place where you've kind of like
you've been learning some stuff,
if you've branched it out, then if something doesn't work out, you pivot. You pivot.
You can pivot. If
you pursue sports all this time and you don't really do math and stuff,
exactly.
I don't really know what else.
There's only two. Yeah, there's only two ways when you know what you want, you put your full effort in it. Yeah. And then, or you put your full effort in and fail.
Yeah, right.
Which is
honestly, like the percentage is bigger than the thing. Not trying to make it pessimistic, but it's true.
It's true. That's why you have to always have like your eggs in different baskets. But then again, if you're really confident,
if you don't do that, then some of these sports would never have came about. Some of these big names would never have came about.
If you put all your eggs in different baskets, you'll never take off in one of them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you put all your eggs in one basket, you can,
but it's just such a lower percentage.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's really tough because it's hard to think, and it's hard to know what you want. You can't know.
Let's finish this off with one more last question. Mm-hmm. Is there like if you could describe like high school like in one word?
In one word.
Like what would you say?
If I could describe high school in one word, I would say that it's
like your classic sub-half question.
I would say that in one word, I have the word. I just have to think about the word. I know the exact word I want to use. It's about the one word is learning. That's one word. Learning, or you can say experience. Because high school, the whole idea of high school and no matter who you meet, what friends you make, what classes you take, what you learn, what you do, what you're a part of, it's all learning. It's all learning because it needs to prepare us for the next step. And it's kind of a cliche answer, but we don't really know anything when we get into high school. We're not as mature as we're going to be. Even right now, me and you sitting, we are talking, we're having good conversation, we're mature, but who knows where we're going to be in the next 5 years?
No, we don't.
Exactly. Like when I look at some people, I think, wow, like there's so much that this person can change. And there's so much, especially when you look at each other and then we look at adults, we're different.
Yeah, right. So some people are still the same.
Some people are still the same. That's very true. But then like even when I look at my dad, I think I'm very different to how he is now.
Oh, yeah?
I'm very different now than how he is. Like I wonder how I'm going to get, how that maturity and my experiences are going to change me. And that's why high school starting is, and then also one thing about high school is that a lot of people take it really serious, which we do. We take it serious academically, which we should. But a lot of people take it really serious in the fact that if I don't have fun in high school or I don't have the best time in high school, it's the end of the world. That's really not what it is. Because your high school,
it's a buffer zone.
It's a buffer zone. You end high school at 17 or 18.
Yeah.
That's
much
nothing.
More of life.
There's nothing there. And then like you can't make high school your whole life, and then in the future you just keep dwelling on high school.
No, yeah. Some people get stuck in.
That's why you need to look at high school as just a quick 4-year learning experience. That's all it is. You're gonna learn about
uni.
Exactly. Look at uni.
Even your later jobs as well.
Even your later jobs.
A lot of people get trapped in their jobs. They're like, I want that promotion, so they don't want to take the gamble of leaving or doing something else.
You go to high school just to learn about what kind of people you like to talk to, your interests, your hobbies,
and also
what you like, what you don't like.
You change during high school.
You change during high school. Yeah, I would say that pretty much every single person in our school has changed from grade 9 to grade 12. They have. And then us all changing as a whole changes everyone. Like that maturity that we have now is obviously more than we did before. Like I just feel like now it's like we're not childish, like how like there's
I think we did actually mature.
we did mature.
Surprisingly.
There's a like we were very childish. I find in the
Yeah.
earlier years of high school because like we're still kids.
I guess we are.
We
Yeah.
are still kids, and then now we're finally getting that development, that maturity, which is really going to help in university because university is your time to meet so many new people.
Yeah.
High school, imagine we're bound to a school with 1,000 kids to a grade with 200 kids or 250.
But I came from a high school of 2000.
You came from a high school of 2000.
Feeling.
Exactly.
Everyone's different.
Everyone's different, and then we're going to go to university with tens of thousands of people.
Yeah. So much people.
So much opportunity to
so much opportunity.
so much opportunity.
Right
That's
word.
the best word.
That's the
so
right word. That's the right way to think about it.
Exactly. And it's opportunity, and it's all going to be another learning experience.
Like I realized something, right? That the resources at school, right? What do you normally think about when you say resources at school?
I really just think of class or like
I think
textbooks.
Textbooks.
Yeah.
I think of teachers. I think of labs.
Mm.
But you know what? I realize is like the best resource of assumption.
Yeah.
You ever guess?
No. What is it?
The people.
The people.
Like you.
Yeah.
Like Michael Mockery.
Yeah.
Ty Tinish. His dad is the general manager of like the Blue Jays.
All
Like
these people you meet.
Nathaniel Hank getting deported from the U.S. So, like all these stories, these crazy stories. Aiden moving all this time through countries.
Literally.
This is like the resource no one thinks about. It's like the social boundaries, right?
Unbelievable.
Like honestly, if you really like think about it, like the way I'm doing this podcast, I'm just trying to use this very end of this time. I realized I dropped out of AP Bio too late. Honestly, I have like so many more.
You should have kept more.
I have so much more people to talk about.
Oh my
Nolan, I'm
God.
getting Nolan on. He's a D1 track athlete.
You know this is going to be like this is amazing for
This is so much resources
keeping
that
memory
I could be
and-
having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much it's good for resources. 100%.
Right.
Networking.
That's
You
a
imagine-
resource that no one thinks about.
yeah.
Right? The people,
The people.
right in front of you. They have all these cool stories that no one talks about.
Because number one thing you can have in life is people around you that help you.
Exactly.
You need you can succeed on your own, but when you
It'll be
succeed
so
with
hard.
people, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
You need people.
That's literally like a solo sport without a coach.
Skills without a coach. How are you?
Impossible.
How are you going to? How are you going to?
Impossible.
You have to do. Imagine you have to research what to train, how to train, and then train.
Maybe with AI.
Maybe with
Can you
AI.
name me one solo or like any person without a coach? No, that's
I don't know any. No.
It's non-existent.
No.
Closest I'm getting is
Yeah.
like the free solo guy, Alex Honnold. But he probably got coached from some guy before, right? Going into rock climbing.
A solo
Obviously,
person without a coach,
it's impossible.
it's impossible.
It's impossible. See,
Like
the people is what you need.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all human. Like we're gonna influence each other. Like we need that
Human and social
help.
animals.
Yeah, we need that social lens that I'm gonna communicate with this person, then you learn from them and you learn things.
Yeah.
Because you can't. And then like even we talk about it in religion class, we learn from our parents, but then we only learn from our parents for so long. Like your mindset
Yeah,
can actually change
once
who
you go
meet.
into uni, like a lot of people get separated from their parents.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
It's just a peer group.
Yeah.
That dictates like the rest of your life, honestly.
Peer group is so. Everyone says it. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Like I just copied that from somebody I heard.
Really? Oh,
But-
that's a good quote.
But yeah, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Like that's
Wow.
that's literally the truth.
Yeah.
You hang out with, like imagine this. This is what I'm copying this completely, but this is really a good
That's
point.
fine. That's fine. I haven't
Imagine
heard
you meet 5 millionaires.
Okay.
You're of course going to be the sixth.
You're right.
How are you not going to become the sixth?
You're right. You're right.
You can't. There's no way you're. But then imagine you meet 5 drug addicts and you spend time with them. You're going to be the sixth.
Most likely you're gonna.
Most likely going to be the sixth, unless you have really strong willpower. But when you meet 5 millionaires who are ambitious and innovative,
Yeah. Unless you hate money and you're
Unless you hate money, you don't care.
Like you're a philosopher.
Yeah.
Like probably you're gonna be the sixth.
exactly.
You're right.
But if you meet 5 millionaires and they're ambitious and they want to include you, you're going to be the sixth. Then once all 6 of you are millionaires, you just grow together.
Right.
Because you're just all going to learn from each other and grow from each other and push each other. It's actually exactly like what I wanted to tell about us in AP. We just build from each other, and that's the biggest thing.
I feel like we have like the closest in the AP group.
We have the closest AP group, and that's exactly
From my biased
why.
perspective, yes.
And that's exactly why we're all doing so well.
We are.
Like we just because we're all we all want to do the best.
We do, exactly.
So-
That's the motivation
So
that
it's the
drives us.
competition drive, and it's the fact that we all want to do the best that is going to push us to, of course. And what else we do is we don't put each other down. We
joke about it.
joke about it, right?
But it's not serious.
You did so bad on this.
It's not like
you're a loser or
serious.
whatever. But it's not serious.
No.
It's because at the end of the day, when we all want each other to do good.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
and honestly, when someone fails, you feel like our group is like you
Yeah.
want to keep it going. You know what I mean?
You don't want to see someone fail.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
We want to be known as like the smart
Yeah, right.
people, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to see like someone go down, because then once one goes down, it could bring us all
Yo,
down.
exactly. That's the thing. You're as strong as your
Like you getting out of AP Bio is gonna drop me in 90 days and Nathaniel. But then we have to just push each other at that point,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah. So it's crazy to think.
That's the hardest thing. Without the group, you have no drive.
You know, I can tell you
And
this.
the hardest thing is to get the group.
Firsthand, I was like, okay, there's two things. Grade 9 and 10, I didn't really care as much, so I didn't try. So
Me neither.
So as a whole, we didn't really care. Grade 11, we weren't all really. Well, we were in a lot of the same classes. But then we didn't. I personally didn't think it was going to matter as much as it does.
I did.
But you knew. That's how you had a really high average.
Oh, that was the thing I need to tell you. The Nathaniel quote I was talking to you.
Okay, tell me in a second. Because then I want to mention how grade 11, I didn't really think of how important it was to get high grades until later on. And I went in academic biology, and I had no one there to push me. So some days I wouldn't even study.
Yeah, right.
Whereas when I went to AP biology, bro,
if you were in my class for grade 11 AP bio, you would be different.
I think I would have been different, but I also still think I wouldn't have not cared as much.
Right, but
so I wouldn't have pushed myself. But then grade 12, when it came around, I was like, okay, this is the time. So what was the thing I was saying?
My main drive, right, for grade 11 was my parents. Pretty much, like honestly, I love playing. That's the thing I love. Like, I'm not a study student. I am not like a natural student that loves studying.
Yeah.
That is not me.
That's not me.
I love hanging around all the time. I love playing Fortnite.
Playing games, playing
basketball, right?
Yeah.
Like, even though I'm not that great at all of these. Like,
that's what you want to do is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't like studying. I don't like it at all.
No.
But like, I remember that first day in biology class.
AP?
Yeah, AP.
Grade 11?
I was going to grade 11. I was like, I'm gonna be chill with like a 95, 96. I was never aiming for top 3. I never aimed for that. A lot of people want it for the respect. I never really cared for it.
Because at the end a lot of higher averages, they're all the same.
Like, who cares, right? Yeah, I was like, who cares, right? I was like 96, 95. I'll be happy with it.
Yeah,
but then Nathaniel turned to me and this guy said, Angus, you're my only one competitor in this biology class.
That's what he said to you?
Yes. And I looked and I was like, wow, like he holds me to such high regard. And this guy, he unleashed some sort of demon inside of me from that one quote. I'll have nights where before the physics test, I'll be so nervous to do good on the physics test, I can barely sleep because of his goddamn quote. Because I'm like, I need to do so well. Because I also got a taste of it. I got a taste of it in the first semester because I did great. Like in psychology, I finished with like a 94, but then like the teacher just gave me a 98. No clue why Miss Henry did that. Miss Henry, but her new name I forgot it. But no, she was just really nice to me. So I got a taste of this lucky slice. So my average was already like at 98. So I was like, oh, maybe I could keep it. Because I had the most cooked schedule. AP Physics, AP Chemistry, AP Biology.
Yeah.
And I also had like...
Oh, you were in
AP
chemistry
math.
AP
semester. Math, I think. Or something.
Or were you math?
No, computer science. Computer science. Computer science is the one thing that saved me. Everything else was... I had all 3 AP Sciences. So when Nathaniel said that to me, it just clicked. And then I just started like gunning for like doing well. Like just simply because of that. If he never said that quote to me, I would have been complacent. With, like,
was Hank not in AP Biology?
He was, but he was never like, he didn't fuel me because he was like, he never said that to me as like a direct competitor because Nathaniel just viewed me as a competitor.
Yeah, because when he
loves competing for grades, I don't really care as much as he does.
Exactly.
And when he said that, it just like unleashed something in me, man.
Because when you have this direct competitor or this direct guy who's so smart,
right,
and you know how smart he is, and then he says to you, "You're my only competitor."
Yeah, right. It gives you some sort of honor.
It's like, wow, you think of me as your only competitor? Yeah. Okay, like, okay, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm your competitor.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna. You better live up to that. I'm gonna show you that you're living up to that word, those words.
And then,
right?
and he gave up when I pulled ahead too much in the race.
Then at the end of the day, who cares?
Yeah, no. Like when I got like number 1, I was like, whatever. Like, I don't even remember I have the plaque somewhere. Like, who cares about that, right?
No, it's good to have that though. Like, it's good.
It's good, but like we shouldn't.
That you tried hard and you succeeded. Like,
right.
Have that.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be something you linger on.
Yeah,
you should be able to move on, right? Yeah. But without that quote, right? If he never said that to me, my grade would not have been that high. It would have been 96, 95. I would have been
honestly,
fine.
I don't even know what pushed us so hard this year.
I don't either. I think it's just each other.
I think it's just the fact that we knew that 100 is attainable and that high 90s is attainable.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to let that go.
I led the way.
Exactly.
With grade 11. Like,
I didn't even think that I would be... Like, I don't have 100 myself. I have high 90s, right? 98, whatever. But just the fact that that's attainable, I didn't even think about it.
Me too. Because I was like 96. Because like back in grade 10, my grades was like 94. I had the same as Brandon. Like, I was your average like playing around student. I didn't care. Mr. Caruso's class, I scraped by with a 90. I was like,
I had like 90, low 90 in that class.
I was in the middle of the pack, right? Yeah.
The only class that showed us that 100 was possible was grade 9 math.
Yeah.
So, but then grade 10 hit and it was much harder. and wasn't focused in grade 10, so I lost that idea of having 100 or having really high 90s with AP, and then it took until now in grade 12 that I'm realizing.
Yeah, now you're back in the loop.
It's possible, and I
it's
can
literally
do
the
it.
people that you are around.
Exactly, it's just the people that I'm around. I'm like, hold on, I'm not gonna let all them get 100.
Yeah.
Screw that. What the hell?
Like I'm not that
much dumber. Exactly.
Right.
Or like I don't not study as that much less than
The
them.
secret to a lot of success is not like the genius. It's
No.
just they do it earlier.
Dedication.
Like Miguel,
do it
when he
earlier.
did calculus in grade 8 and 9.
He knows it. He already knows it.
That's like you already did like so much sports training. Of course you're
Exactly.
gonna be better at
He already
basketball
knows
than the
it.
kid that just started.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's just where you put your time.
Because it's just because that, and then especially I want to bring it back to the gym. I realized this year I don't go to the gym that much often. I always am studying. So I realized like I'm always studying, and then I always get occupied by TikTok.
Yeah.
I find sometimes excuses, but the reality is, the gym. I realized like I don't have to always be in the gym. Overtraining is a real thing.
Yeah. You were overtraining.
I was overtraining.
You were. You told me about like doing it 5 times a week. I was like, this guy's overtraining. But I was like, his physique is looking better and better, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, my physique was obviously getting better, but I think I could have even got even better if I stopped overtraining.
Really?
Then I realized that now, like natural muscle and natural athleticism, very hard to lose.
Yeah.
Like now, I haven't even been to the gym. I don't know, in a few days, maybe a week or so. Mm-hmm. But I realized like the muscle doesn't come off when you build muscle.
It's rare to like lose.
It's rare to
unless
lose.
you're doing a lot of long distance running.
Because long distance running, when you shred through your fat, you start shredding through the muscle.
That's the only way to lose a muscle.
That's the only way. That's what, like my dad.
When you build up fat, your muscle's still on there. You just the fat cover.
Exactly. It's like muscle cells are not going to die, especially when you're getting your protein intake and you're getting the amino acids you need. Like
that's a whole different podcast.
Exactly.
That's what the Gym Bros podcast.
That's the Gym Bro podcast. Like I even see my dad, who hasn't worked out in 20 years. Still has some muscle left, just from that natural muscle, right?
Yeah.
Whereas steroids,
that's a whole different topic.
It's a whole different topic. Yeah, it's a whole different topic.
If you vibe with this combo, drop a like, leave a comment, and hit that sub button. We'll catch you next time on Different Walks, Different Talks.